What's up, everybody? It's Ryan and James here. We did the Suppressor Showdown, and that video is going to get long as shit, so we figured we'd break it up into two parts and kind of talk about what we experienced when we were shooting it, and kind of what we thought about each can, and kind of go from there. These are the two guns that we used. That's just a 16-inch Remington factory. It was like a 700p, wasn't it? Chop down. Yep. And then a fix 16-inch. And now we kind of, I mean, obviously there's a little bit of discrepancy running the super thin barrel fix, but we're kind of trying to grade it linearly, you know, what we would expect to find if we'd swapped the cans around. This was the first one, right? We started with the 338 Ultra.
Yep, ran that on the queue.
So this thing is badass, obviously. It's humongous. I think the 338 Ultra, the Magnus, and the Ultra 9, all three of them performed about the same. Now, I'd say, like, if we're gonna shoot like a 300 Win Mag, or obviously 338, but a 300 Win Mag, the Magnus is gonna do better than the Ultra 9 did. With the 308 cartridge, they were super similar, like very, very close.
That was in sound suppression. I think the 338 edged it out.
I think on recoil.
Yeah, and recoil too, right? But
I think it did. I mean, obviously, look at the size of this freaking thing, right?
Yeah. The Ultra 9 was...
Yeah, it did great. Yeah. So if you have an Ultra 9 and you're shooting a 308 base 6.5 Creed or something like that, I don't think you're missing out a ton by going to, you know, wanting a 338, other than the fact that it looks cool as shit.
Monster can.
Yeah. Point of impact, it definitely tightened up groups, right? All the Thunder Beast cans did.
Yeah, yeah. So when we zeroed with naked, nothing on there, no muzzle, that group was like what, 1.2?
It was pretty good size. It was the first rounds out of this barrel too, but
yeah, that's right too. It was fresh barrel.
Still, it was pretty consistent throughout the day, I think.
Yeah. But for group size, for all the Thunder Beast stuff, I'd say it shrunk it down a little bit, but it was still hovering. Like some groups are under that 1 MOA, but some were kind of right around that 1 MOA. So, and
there was a definite point of impact shift, like a pretty sizable point of impact shift. I mean, it was like between like a half and 1 mil right and down or up. I don't remember whichever way it was.
It was to the right and to down just a little bit
on all the Thunder Beast cans.
Yeah. Well, it kind of bounced around a little bit too, right?
Yeah, it did. There was some that wasn't quite as much.
I personally own one of those, but and I haven't had any issues with it or like complaints about it. But when you put it up against like the Dominus or Ultra 9, you can definitely tell that thing is a little bit louder.
Quite a bit snappier.
Yeah. Whereas the Dominus is definitely suppressed better than the Ultra 7 in my opinion.
And the Dominus has a different tone to it. The 7 was, I mean, it just wasn't. It wasn't great recoil wise. I don't think it did it. You know, it obviously didn't do nearly as good as even the Ultra 9 or the Dominus. I think if you're on the fence or if you're going to buy a Thunder Beast and you're looking at those two cans, definitely I would go with the Dominus for sure. And I mean, I think point of impact shift and all that shit was pretty equal.
It was, and the group size actually at the Dominus, I think out of all the Thunder Beasts was the best.
Oh yeah, that's right, it was, absolutely.
So we each shot 3 rounds each, so 6 rounds total, and that one shrunk it down pretty good. It was under a minute.
Yeah, that one actually did really good. Yeah. This funky little bugger, the Ultra 5, it's a super cool can, and I think if, like, hunting wise, to take that edge off, or like the competition dynamics or something where weight is somewhat of a factor and you just don't want that concussion of a muzzle brake all the time, this is pretty viable. It didn't, obviously recoil reduction isn't huge. It's a tiny little can. It has a really unique kind of deep
tone to it. But it was, I'd probably want to wear plugs if I'm
shooting. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not hearing safe. Like you're gonna fuck yourself up if you shoot this all day. And that was, I guess we'll touch on this one. I mean, this is quite a bit lighter, I suppose, than the 6 is, but you can kind of see size-wise, these are both going to be pretty viable hunting cans.
Yeah, that's the role for those. I'd say like limited rounds where you're not going to blow out your ears, and and then when you're looking at the overall length between the Dominus and an Ultra 5, like you're really not adding too much overall length, and you're getting a whole lot more suppression out of it.
What's the weight wise? How's that feel?
Well, that one's got a CB brake and another one doesn't, but they're.
I mean, that's not. Yeah, you're not going to notice. I mean, unless you're just a little bitch or whatever.
Kind of holding back at it, but yeah, for weight wise, it's
super close.
Like now I feel that's without the CB brake in it.
Oh yeah, they're wicked close. And I mean, size wise, are you going to freaking notice? Like, I don't know. If I already had one of these, obviously, but yeah, I think if I was gonna buy one, a little bit and back on.
Wow, that's more than I thought it would be. 9.5 ounces, 9.4 compared to.
Oh wow. Okay, so it doesn't feel that heavy, but what 9.4 and 5.9, that's I guess it's a little bit heavier. Yeah. I would still buy the Dominus.
Yeah, for sound suppression.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, but and then too to note that all of these Thunder Beast cans are run with the CB brake on there, so as a standalone muzzle brake, actually it's not terrible. I've shot 300 Win Mag, one of those proof elevation rifles, 300 light as fuck, right? Shot it with just the CB muzzle brake on there, and it's not terrible. Obviously, if I'm doing muzzle brake, I'd go something different.
Yeah, definitely.
But I do like.
What's that thing weigh?
So CB brake alone is
another 2 ounces.
Yeah. So I like the taper on. You got a taper on the inside of these Thunder Beasts and a taper on the CB brake, and I like the lockup on it because I have ran direct thread cans and I ran CB cans. I've never had a CB can that like backed off.
Come loose.
And you can tighten these up, and it's like you don't have to wrench on them, and they'll stay tight. Whereas like a direct thread, you're gonna want to. I don't know.
And we have had direct threads come loose. Yeah. I think it just, I don't know, it seems like it depends on the brand and stuff, like which one's more susceptible.
Deer hunting this year had the can back off, riding around with the muzzle down in the truck.
Oh yeah.
And that can ended up backing off as a direct thread can. But yeah, so something to note there on like the attachment devices. Although too, like the Magnus and whatnot, they're coming out with a hub mount on those, which is the universal thread pitch to run. You can
to whatever mount. Like I don't think we don't even have one on. Well, we took it off of there, but
it's universal.
But yeah, so it'll be universal. So I think overall, I mean, all the Thunder Beasts, they obviously it's a great company, right? They give so much to precision rifle sport and other. Like they donate a lot of stuff. They're an awesome company. They're good guys. Quality overall, you're not going to go wrong. They didn't perform the best in like most of the categories, but they're a lot better than a lot of other suppressors you're going to locate or even have a chance to shoot. You're not going to be disappointed with any of them, really. I don't think so.
But I mean, like they might have not. They just performed pretty damn good.
They did. Yeah. And the 338, like. I don't know. I just go back to this thing because it's just so freaking cool.
Yeah, a monster can.
It's so big. That's what she said. Right?
Well, and I got a hub mount right here. Magnus.
These guns aren't clear. Don't worry about it. But I mean, they just that thing just. It looks cool as shit. They run really good. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. So
with the hub mount.
We got a Magnus here with the hub mount, and we ran a Plan B from Q in the back of it, which I like those if you're running, if you got cherry bombs or whatever. But again, so that one weighs a pound and a half ounce. But again, that's compared
which really like I don't know. I mean, a pound. 14 ounces. That's only 2 ounces. That's not much.
But you put and you got to put a cherry bomb in this yet, then a CB brake on that yet. But
about equal.
Yeah. So, but it gives you a nice option though. If you want, you can run whatever mount system on there.
Literally,
you're not stuck to the CB brakes and whatnot.
And we shot this separately. We shot this on a 7 Creedmoor, and that was like one of my favorite. That was so much fun. It was a hoot. It was an absolute. I'm sure. I think we have a video posted somewhere on Instagram or something. But it was It was badass.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So when you're looking at these cans, like if you can afford it and you have something big, you know, like 8.6 coming out and that kind of stuff, that 338 can is a tank. It's a solid,
and that would be super sick on one of those.
Yeah, solid can. But you start looking at that's a 16-inch barrel. Now you throw that can on there, and you got a javelin.
It's
pretty quick,
huge,
right? So if you can live with that length, same with Ultra 9 and Magnus. If you can live with that length, run them. You know,
I
obviously
definitely think it's worth it.
you get the sound suppression and the recoil reduction out of that, but yeah, if you want to keep a short compact package, that Dominus is tough to beat between the 5 and the 7 out of just the Thunder Beast cans. But when you look at all the cans we tested, that thing was pretty damn good too.
It did do really good overall.
Yeah, so
it's got a unique tone on it. Sounds good, feels good, recoil wise it's nice. Yeah. So I think you can't go wrong with any Thunder Beast stuff. These were a huge surprise to me. I was like blown away. So cool thing about the Q-Can, I mean obviously the direct threads have tapers. They're not making the direct threads anymore, right?
I think they're just continuing to direct thread their titaniums anyway.
That's right.
I don't know if they're coming out with the direct thread in a steel can or not, but
I mean, I was just so blown away. They have a little bit, they suppress really good. They sound like the volume wise is really good. They have a little bit of a ring to it. It's not unpleasant. It's definitely just a different tone from like the Thunder Beast. So they're just like a real soft, standard suppressed noise, I guess. The Qs have a little bit of a ting, but the thing that blew me away, I think the most, was the 0 point of impact shift. Like,
so all the Q cans were shot on this rifle too, which this Remington was shooting really fucking good.
It was
we had 168.
168 Federals.
Yeah, so this setup, obviously the scopes we were flopping around, but this setup, this gun was shooting really good with just a naked muzzle. But we had that 0 pretty good on a 1-inch dot.
Yeah.
And then we shot, I think it was at this point that we're like, shit, let's shoot all the different cans
at one
dot and see how far it moves. And on that one, that entire group, so out of 6 shots per can, what was that group? Maybe an inch?
It was tiny.
Over an inch with all those shots.
They shot so good.
It was impressive. Yeah, and that was from going direct thread. Then we popped the cherry bomb on there.
Cherry bomb. And I kind of fucked up because I only brought 1 cherry bomb and it got stuck, so we didn't shoot all 4 cans, but I have like no reason to believe that it wouldn't have, that they all wouldn't have done that. You know, they wouldn't have shot the same.
Way down.
I don't remember which way this fucker goes.
There we go.
So yeah, none of them, like there was no point of impact shift. I mean, a tenth, maybe 2/10 at most. The groups were outstanding.
And like flash in that group size.
I'll toss that up.
Just so you can see, like that was impressive. Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't expect that out of these, but it's to note as well that all these are titanium except a couple of cans that we ran, LMT, OSS, and I think the 2 Gunwerks cans, the 6 and 8, are not titanium.
And this weighs like a pound by itself. So that goes to show you the Dominus, that was 2 ounces lighter, or the Magnus was 2 ounces lighter. Because this is like 1.1 pounds,
That's to note as well that we
1.1.
probably have a lot of rounds through some of those Q cans since they've been around for a while.
That's true.
We've had them in our possession for a while, I should say. Whereas the Magnus is relatively new, so
might be a little carbon buildup.
Yeah, there's a little carbon in there, which that's good for.
But I was like, I don't know, I was blown away. And tone-wise, it didn't really change a lot when we went down to the shorter cans. I mean, a tiny bit, but not like a crazy amount, I didn't think.
Yeah, so we had the Trash Panda, the Half Nelson, then we had the Thunder Chicken and the Full Nelson. And it's to note, like Trash Panda and Thunder Chicken both run the cherry bomb, and then the other 2 Half and Full Nelson are direct thread. But one thing too that I run into a lot with guys is the taper. You touched on that a little bit, but the taper on the inside for a direct thread, some guns, not all threads are created equal kind of thing.
Oh, that's right.
So you want, rule of thumb from the engineers at Q is you want at least 4 full revolutions on your barrel, and then that's enough thread holding power, I guess, if you will. I'm not an engineer. I don't know what fucking term to use there. But yeah, just it's enough. It's safe enough is what I'm trying to get at, that you can shoot.
Keep it concentric and shit.
Yeah, you're not going to blow your can
the end off of it.
But 4 full revolutions, you're good to go on the Q cans. But that's just a heads up. Like it might not work on yours. But a quick fix too that would have been just throw an adapter on there.
Yeah.
Not the greatest fix, but you can get by.
Still usable.
DJ, he has one of these, and that's what he ran into. Some of his barrels threaded. He's like, nah, I can't run that thing on there. Couldn't get 4 revolutions, but some of them he can.
The other thing that I was surprised at, I was under the impression that these were high dollar as shit. I thought they were really expensive, like $1,200-1,300, but they're like under $1,000.
Yeah, so like just off the top of my head, I think we're selling trash pandas for $900, and then like the half Nelson is like $750.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Like that's pretty cheap for the performance that these had, and like it was super quiet. They're titanium, so they're. I mean, it seems like it's chunky at a pound, but like they don't wield like that. They don't feel like that on the in the field.
Yeah.
Well, that one's 14 ounces with the cherry bomb in it,
and there's probably a lot of carbon too in that.
Oh yeah, that's true. This one's got some miles on her. Some melted gloves and shit on it. Whatever.
But like sound suppression was great on all those 4 cans. Recoil reduction was obviously
really
Thunder
good.
Chicken was pretty impressive on that. And the full.
That's like 16 baffles in that thing.
That's a lot.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah.
They did a really good job. I was really impressed, surprised and impressed.
Yeah, and
they're cool.
Looking forward to running those on gas guns and seeing what kind of performance we're gonna get out of that too.
Blowback wise too, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And we are gonna do that. We're gonna redo this test on because there's a couple. Well, we'll just go. Fuck it. We'll skip ahead. You want to come back to this?
No, come back to.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna skip ahead because we are gonna run these on gas guns too, and I don't know. We'll probably do 5.56, but just for
circle back to that.
Yeah, just for price wise. Probably looks like on the video this LMT can was hot fucking trash. It was so loud. I mean, it was like you didn't have. It was like not even having anything on there. I mean, it was fucking loud. I was shocked, like blown away how loud it was.
Yeah.
It kind of does a little bit, maybe a little bit of disservice. I don't know because we've never shot this. That was the first time this thing had ever been shot, right?
I think it was, yeah.
And it's never been on anything else. So it might be a little bit of a disservice because it is kind of like a flow through.
It's not designed.
Yeah, it's not a bolt gun can. So anyway, you could probably put this on. I was gonna grab this fucking belt fed machine gun over there, but you could probably put this on that and run it fucking nonstop, and it would be a tank and fine. And flash suppression and shit wise, I think it would probably do better. And we're gonna try it on a 5.56 because it's 1 pound 5 ounces. It's a freaking tank. Like you could probably hammer nails in with this bitch.
Yeah, but then you have the OSS coming in at
1 pound 7 ounces
with the brake in there.
Well, and that's another one. That fucker was loud as shit too. Like it was incredibly loud. It's also a flow through can. Yeah. And what's weird, I don't know. It's so freaking crazy that it was that loud because we know OSSs are badass. Grab that fucking hands down on a gas gun. Like, they're so badass. They work so good.
5.56 Flow K or 5.56 K Flow.
And they.
All right, so yeah, what we got here is the Flow 5.56K 3D printed and running these on short 10.5 gas guns.
Phenomenal.
Very impressive.
Like you can sit there, no ear pro. That day we were running on the chainsaw when the first drop on the chainsaw, we ran that. I wasn't running ear pro.
No.
And I mean that's a 10.5 and we were mag dumping and I mean I was videoing right next to it and they're phenomenal and you get no gas in your face. Like and that's tiny. Look at the freaking size of that thing. It's crazy.
Yeah, it does its job well.
Where this, and maybe you got to put this thing on like a AR-10, you know, a 308 or a 6.5 Creed or that 277 Fury or some fucking weird shit. Would not be the one I would pick on a bolt gun. Just saying. But OSS Gunwerks, again, awesome dudes. They make a freaking awesome product. can't go wrong other than I just wouldn't run it on a bolt gun.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what it do on a gas gun and run 5.56 with that 7.62 one. And then we got the 3 others.
Yeah, we might. We could come up with something. We'll try it on something. We'll find another 308 to run.
Yeah.
Take that fucking HK out and see what goes on that.
Yeah. Options. But yeah, those two by far not made for bolt gun.
Do not buy this fucking LMT if you're gonna run it on a bolt gun. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, Lewis Machine and Tool, I know you guys make awesome shit. That is not a bolt gun can. But if you got a belt-fed fucking machine gun, that's probably your guy.
Same with OSS is that 7.62 is a heavy can.
Heavy duty
too, right? But yeah, and then the CGS, and then we have.
That thing was badass though.
So this one
that was awesome.
Yep. So another 3D printed can. This is the Helios, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Helios QD. Hub mount on the back.
1.3. So it's kind of a tanks too.
And then you can do end caps on those.
Oh, that's right.
You can kind of run it like a flow through too.
Change them out.
Yeah, it'll bleed out some of that gas in the front. CGS Helios QD was a very good can on the. Which gun did we run that on again? Was it the 700? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I think it was the 700. Again, shooting.
I think
well,
it was. Yeah.
It was shooting well all day long, and yeah, the point of impact shift difference on
it was super minimal. Like
it was hitting the dot.
Yeah.
And the group was less.
Not horrible.
Yeah.
It wasn't spectacular, but it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a pig too. It's 1.3 pounds. It's got a really interesting baffle design in there. It's got like these fucking pyramid looking things. It's super weird. And then you were saying, what'd you say about the end caps?
Yeah, you can flop up the end cap with, and then the other one has holes in the end cap that kind of bleeds off some of the gas too a little bit. So
be like a flow through.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I don't know. This is super. I'd never been around it or shot them, and the sound was really good.
Yeah, well, I've been running that on that Noveski Recon 16-inch for the thermal gun.
Oh yeah.
And the group I shot with that gun with factory ammo was incredible. Yeah. So I'm excited for 5.56.
It's kind of portly, but
stout, heavy duty.
Super heavy duty.
So
again,
you can burn a shit ton of rounds through those.
Fucking mag dumping the shit out of it.
We had that on that full auto. What the hell was it? Swamp Rat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was glowing. The guy lit a cigarette
off of the can.
Yeah.
So we should take that fucking AK out, get her cooked up.
Yeah.
So then I think the Gunwerks cans were next,
which was all we were left.
Oh, that's right. I'll drop in that picture of the group there. I think we shot. Did we shoot the 8 first?
Honestly, I don't remember which,
I don't remember
which
one we did.
You got the 6 and the 8, and then something to note here with these. Gunwerks does something a little different with theirs. It's like not quite a CD brake, but it's a muzzle device. So this goes on your rifle, and then it's got you just lock it on there.
I guess. Yeah.
And then it's a host, so it's got a little bit of a taper on there, and then the threads kind of taper, which should keep that threads clean, which is nice. You don't have to worry about carbon locking that thing on there.
1.5 ounces, and we shot a class at Gunwerks last year, or the year before, I don't remember. But all the guns that they were using had that style of this fucking thing, and we shot the shit out of their guns. We
burned it down.
Yeah, we burned it down, and we should know that they never came loose. Like, and we abused the shit out of those guns.
So I was going to call it the Ultra, but the Gunwerks 6, so that one weighs in at, with nothing in it, is 10 ounces. Yeah, 10.8, which you have one of these.
Yeah, I have one of those coming. It should be here maybe next month. Maybe.
Where did we win that can at? Was that
Defiance Anti-Social?
Yeah, thanks to Defiance.
Yeah, hell yeah. And Gunwerks.
Yeah.
The 8 is 1 pound. So this can sounds pretty good. I mean, it had like it looks like about maybe 0.3, well, probably 2/10 left, 2 or 3/10 left, and a little bit down. So 2 of the cans grouped like really good, and then one of them dropped a little low, and I don't remember which one was what. The sound on this is pretty cool. It sounds fine. It's a big ass can. It's not like remarkably awesome. The Magnus definitely, I think, sounds better, and size-wise, they're comparable. It's also comparable with like the Full Nelson and Thunder Chicken. But I mean, it sounds good. The 6, I think, this is going on a hunting gun for me, and said I want it. I'm super excited about it because it's got a little spice to it. I mean, it's not as loud as the 5, right? As the Ultra 5, but it's definitely, I wouldn't shoot it all day long. And I feel like maybe on like a, I don't know, 6.5 PRC or something like that, you know, in a mountain gun, this would be pretty viable.
Yeah, decent.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
And then to note, that's a 1.5-inch diameter cannon. This one's a 1.7, and then their new 6 Ti Plus, 6 Plus Ti is light. The thing is super light, so that's 7.2 ounces.
I didn't know it was a light.
7.2, and to me, it's very.
Yeah, we call it the Dominus competitor.
Yeah, it looks identical to a Dominus in shape and size and whatnot, right? But weight-wise, yeah, so we're at
2 ounces.
9.4 there. And 7.3.
Yeah,
so
2 ounces.
Yeah, light can, and I think the Dominus outperformed this.
I think it did too. That was definitely louder than the Dominus was. I don't know why. It seems weird.
But yeah, it's slightly longer.
It's a little. It's so light though. Like you pick it up and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. On a hunting rifle though, again, you know, that's suppressed better than the Ultra 5.
Definitely.
Yep. So.
And what's the?
It wasn't too far behind on the.
Still, it's an ounce heavier than the Ultra 5.
But it's an ounce and a half. Yeah, if I was running that against the Dominus, I'd still roll Dominus.
Yeah, I think so too.
6 plus.
And it could be that it's only got like 5 baffles in it, but I mean it's super light, and I feel like they're pretty freaking expensive.
Yeah, I can't remember what those are going for. They're cheaper than Dominus though.
Oh, it was?
They are. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So well,
Not
I mean that's
much.
you know, money talks, man. Yeah. I mean they perform good. There wasn't anything wrong with them. There wasn't anything spectacular about them for us.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything bad. I do really want to shoot something big like 6.5 PRC or 7 PRC or something. Next up, is this it?
Legit.
This is it. Okay, so we have actually at least two cans that aren't here. I forgot the Silencer Co. I've had that was a hybrid 46 that we shot in there with the like 30 cal brake on it. I've had that thing for frickin' ever, and I was actually really surprised at how good it did. The grip was awesome on it. That had the best recoil reduction, like by far.
Yeah.
The one with the brake.
It
did. He hates fucking Silencer Co., but he won't admit that my old ass fucking can had awesome recoil reduction.
Being unbiased here, it was good.
Yeah, it was. I was surprised. It weighs a fucking ton.
Heavy
like
can.
you talk about driving nails with it. I don't remember which other one is. It's fucking heavy.
Yeah.
But you could put it on a pistol and shit. I don't know if I would, just because it's so freaking heavy. And by the time you get a buffer, the spring fucking thing in there,
Nice, yeah.
all that other shit, it's gonna be fuck me. You might as well have a rifle. But sound wise, it was okay. And then what's that thing that you have? What's that called? You talking shit about the Silencer Co. or some bullshit.
Yeah, well, my first can I ever purchased was a Dakota Silencer, back when they were Dakota Silencer. Varmint
what are they now?
Silencer Central.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a Varmint 3.0. What are those, 8 or 9 inch can? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's fucking huge. It's massive.
8 or 9 inch can, but it's a 1.5 inch diameter, I want to say.
Yeah, it's about like an Ultra 9.
But it has the inner tube design where you can, you have an inner sleeve and then you can remove your baffles, whereas every other can here is a fully welded can.
The Silencer Co. is a 2-part too.
Is it? Yeah. So I don't care for that
design. I don't think it's not user serviceable, but it's definitely. I think that's why it's so fucking heavy.
Yeah, and that's what you get that weight with that Varmint 3.0.
It did. Point of impact shift was like, if I remember right, he was like, I don't know where the fuck it's going because it was. I mean, it was like mils off, like multiple. So was the LMT, and they actually grouped really good. I'll throw that up on the screen too, but they kind of grouped together. It was weird, but whatever. It's what it is. And what would that thing cost you back in the day?
Yeah, it was about $1,000.
Oh, was it that much?
Yeah,
I think my hybrid, I think I got a pretty good deal on it. It was like $750 or something. I think it was a good deal back then when I bought it.
Yeah.
So this brings us to my favorite. These are the winners for me, hands down. And I don't know why, just because they were fucking awesome. 10 ounces?
It's impressive.
Holy shit. So these are the Diligent Defense Enticers. 8. I didn't realize they were that light too. That's even better. Yeah, these cans are fucking awesome.
So, Diligent Enticer STI, which is their 6, and
the short
L.
And the LTI. Yep. Titanium cans.
Yep.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11 baffles or so. Yep. These are set up direct thread, but they do have, that's the regular industry standard pitch, right? So you can change the, you can change whatever amount you want. This is incredibly light. This is 10 ounces and that was whatever, 8 something. I mean, that's really impressive. The groups on these 2 cans were like freaking tiny. I'll toss it up on the screen. And I think I'm pretty sure I've already been blasting it all over everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, it's one hole with a flyer, probably because Jimmy sucks at pulling a trigger. That's what I'm going with. The sound on these is fantastic. Like you could stand, I mean, you could have this bitch like right at your ear and it wouldn't bother you.
Yeah, it's good. So to know it too, like I'm currently running this on the night rig with the thermal coyote hunting, and I love it. It's light.
Crazy.
Yeah, I got no complaints on that at all.
Pretty relatively good on price too.
Very decent.
I mean, I think
it's a good bang for the buck.
Yeah, no, it is the bang for your buck.
So you're looking at the STI is it'd be 750 and that's 850. I want to say.
So I was thinking. I know they were both under $1,000. So even for $1,000, you got your tax stamp and everything.
But when you compare them to everything else, they're probably one of the least expensive cans.
It's super close. I think some of the Qs come in pretty close, but
yeah, you get the direct thread versions. But yeah,
don't just buy Diligent Defense. Like, just fuck all this. Just buy Diligent Defense. I'll be curious to see what it's like on a gas gun on the gas back, because like my Silencer Co. Oh my god, it's horrible. It'll choke the shit out of you.
So these are 1/6 diameter too. So I'm hoping that they'll perform a little bit.
It'll do all right.
A little bit more internal volume than 1.5. But yeah, I was impressed with those.
No point impact shift.
Zero.
None.
Yeah, recoil reduction like
totally fine.
Yeah, it felt, and it's all perception too.
Yeah,
right? But it was good, obviously.
But like comparing it to everything here, and then the Silencer Co can, because the Silencer Co can was noticeably less with that brake thing on the front of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was noticeable. You could tell. So yeah, I think we covered which ones. Diligent Defense, I think, is my pick. A lot of good cans, a lot of good companies. Not you're going to struggle to go wrong with any of these. So we're going to do the gas gun thing at some point in time. We're going to run probably most of these cans, or at least some of these cans, and some different ones on 5.56 guns. I think we were talking about it, we'll do like a 16-inch, because everybody has a 16-inch gas gun, and then we'll do something cool, maybe a little, one of the Sweet Noveskis or something.
10.5 shorty or something.
10.5 or
see how they work.
Something. We'll figure it out. But we'll have another video coming. We'll wait till it's not 35 below zero outside. But we'll do another one with gas guns, and hopefully this has been somewhat informative. I mean, whatever. We're freaking winging it. Like, we're just lucky that we get to play with some cool shit. Obviously, big shout out to Tag Firearms. All the cans come from them. Ammo is sponsored by Chris at Tag. It's a good dude.
Yeah, it was a fun test.
Big thanks. Yeah, it was a blast.
Big thanks, Hefe. No, it was a good test to see how everything performed. We did it all in one shot. We'll have some other ones that we'll mix in some other suppressors like as they roll in. We'll get some different cans, but we'll touch on that when we get to it.
Like individual reviews or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but for all this, like if you're looking at this in the market for a can, like what do I do? Where do you start? So like for me, I like suppression, but you got to look at like what kind of platform you're putting this on. Is it going to be a comp rig? Is this your hunting gun? Like what are you going to put it on? And
multi-use.
Yeah, and what can you live with too, right? Can you live with a javelin, putting a 338 can on a long gun? Like for me, I started getting a shorter packages like rifles, right? 16-inch barrels or 20-inch barrels for hunting rigs because I knew I was going to put a can on it. So I started running more compact suppressors too a little bit. Whereas like this is my personal Ultra 7 that I'm running. For me, that worked out good because I used to have a 24-inch Tikka 2250 with that Dakota Silencer can on there.
It's huge.
It's long. I couldn't even put it in the back of my truck because it was too long. You can't put it in the case; it's too long. So that's where I started going to shorter barrels and what can you live with.
That comes into your repeatability too. When you take the can off and put the can back on, you know, and something like that, or like a 26-inch barrel where you're having to move it on and off, like. That, you know, the return to zero that like the Q's had and that the Diligent Fence had with that no point of impact, where that, you know, that's a big thing. So I said if you're coming into something that's shorter where you can pack it around where you don't have to do that, Ultra 7, totally doable.
Yeah, but no things to think about though. Like, do you want muzzle device on it or direct thread, or you know, like as you're looking at different cans and what they offer to you. Or hub mount, where you can run one type of muzzle device on all your different guns, and does that can bounce it around to different guns or what? For me, what I ended up running on this one was an Area 419 conversion on that. So with this, you put it in the back of your can. I red Loctited that in there, and then it just lives there. That lives in the can for good. And then on your rifles, like, you're looking at this rifle here, so then you put that $40 adapter on here, which is nice because you look at a CB break and those are 125 bucks, 150 bucks or so, whatever it is. So to get more of these on your, you know, outfit your entire fleet with those is pretty nice. And also the other nice thing is too, like if you run a muzzle brake on there, now you can run your muzzle brake on that thing and you're good to go, just like that. So things to think about there as you're looking at shit to buy. Right?
And even like you're talking muzzle brake, there's a lot of companies, I know PVA makes one, there's a lot of companies that are adding the threads on for like this same kind of type deal, whether it's the 419 or the external like a CB or whatever. There's a lot of companies that are adding that into their muzzle brakes. So keep that in mind. You know, it's a long-term process. You know, there's a lot to it.
Yep. And then, but yeah, like that's stuff to consider when you're purchasing one. Other things like that you run into is like the covers, right? So putting a cover on. I know you had one on. I have one on my other gun or can too, and that thing is dog shit. It's horrible.
Which one was that?
That was the Varner.
Oh,
it fucking works. It works its way off every single time. So like when I'm looking at, I switched over these burn proofs here, and I absolutely love them. So the burn proof has a two-piece design, which this is a fiberglass inner sleeve rated for 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is a tight fit though. Like you put this on your suppressor, and it's a really tight fit. So this is what we're running on the STI from Diligent. It's super tight fit, but it stretches over, and that's, you want it to cover the majority of your can. And then you put your cover over there and you lace it like a shoe.
I mean, like this thing is this tight as shit. This ain't going anywhere.
The purpose these serves is to help mitigate
mirage,
right? So mirage cover.
And so you don't burn the shit out of yourself if you accidentally touch it.
Done that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. Well, that's why I wanted there's a Noveski up there that's got a glove imprint melted into this beautiful FDE OSS can.
Yeah. So they get hot though, like, and if you run a lot of rounds through them and whatnot, you can burn yourself or your clothes or your seat in your truck or something like that. Also under high powered magnification, and you get that can hot.
Washout.
Yeah, you start, your target looks like it's moving around on you.
And especially if you're running it in comps. I mean, you definitely want, these burn proofs are freaking amazing. I mean, this thing is worth every penny that, like this, I have an Armageddon gear on mine, and it works good. It's a good wrap, and these burn proofs are just freaking, this is stout. Like, this is awesome. This is not going anywhere. I mean, it's protecting your can. These are badass.
Yeah, so the rule of thumb for these is to order them ½ inch longer than your suppressor, so you got a ¼ inch each end hanging over just like that one.
Super cool.
And then it locks on tight and let her buck. But yeah, burn proof gear.
Super awesome.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them, maybe, I don't know if everybody knows the process of getting a suppressor, because it seems like a scary thing, and I don't know if that's if everybody knows how to do it, or if maybe you're in the market for your first one and you don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, it's kind of daunting a little bit for a lot of people that are first time buyers, but at the end of the day, like you roll in, we got the Silencer Shop kiosk, and you park yourself in front of there for 10-15 minutes, and it's basically done, and you're off to the wait at that point. So you need your fingerprints done, get a passport quality photo. Silencer Shop pretty much does everything else for you from there. So then you got to look at how you want to transfer it to your cell phone too. So do you want to do a trust, individual, how you want to roll it that
and
way.
I guess that, I mean, that a lot of that comes into your area and what you have for a dealer, if they have something like a silencer kiosk, or if you got to do it like paper old school way, where you might have to go to your sheriff's office and get fingerprints done. You need 2 fingerprint cards, and then you could download their Silencer Essentials app and Silencer Shop's app, and you can actually do your picture on their app. And then you can mail in those 2 cards right to them. And once they have them, right? Like,
so it's nice if you, like I can speak on the Silencer Shop, obviously, because we run that stuff a lot. But yeah, for the first time buyer, it's 30 some minutes and you're done after that. So then you can reuse fingerprints, and then your photo is good for up to a year. And then once it's expired, you just take another one. Easy enough.
With your phone, your cell phone. I mean, it took 2 seconds.
Yeah, so
daunting process. The ATF wanting their please the crown money, their $200 tax stamp. I mean, obviously that's stupid, right? Abolish the ATF. But it's not bad. It's not and once you get one in, you're hooked, and they're freaking amazing.
Get the first one out of the way.
Yeah, get the first one out of the way, and everything's easy from there.
Yeah, because come back for more.
Yeah, I mean, it's noise pollution wise, it's hearing safe. There's just so many benefits to them. They really are just an awesome device.
I refuse to hunt without a suppressor.
Oh yeah, no, we don't. Like, no way.
Being able to communicate, not having to have earplugs in, because a lot of times, that shot might present itself. You don't have time to throw your plugs in, and you only get your ears one time.
Even for animals too, like where we hunt, there's huge herds of deer, and if you're racking off freaking loud ass rounds, I mean, you're gonna scare everything out of the freaking country.
Yeah. Well, how many times have you shot at an animal, right? Say you shoot at a deer or something, right? And you drop it, and there's other deer around it. They don't scatter, like they stand up
with a suppressor.
Like, why is my homie just passed out? What's up? Like the same with coyote hunting too, right? It gives you a chance to get more rounds because it muffles the sound. They can't pinpoint the direction or where you're at exactly. So I've got follow-up shots on coyotes before because of that.
That's crazy.
So there's a lot of benefits to them that way too.
But no, man, we appreciate everybody. Do that like, subscribe, share thing everybody wants. I mean, it really helps. Said we'll do another one, and let us know if you see something you want us to play with. We do have. I'm gonna show it just real quick, because this is coming soon. Once somebody gets the fucking screw for the stock that they messed up.
Happens.
Yeah, what do you do? It's the B&T 300 blackout.
SPR 300.
I think the X-Ring did one of these. Look at that thing. Look at that. What do you call it? Quietest sniper rifle in the world or something? We're gonna find out. This bitch is badass though. But yeah, get you a suppressor, man. We appreciate you. Big thanks to Tag Firearms. Look for the next one. Let us know what you want to see. Appreciate it.